Counterpoint, the general knowledge music quiz, chaired by Paul Gambaccini.
Hello. The rapid spread of Omicron at the time of recording means we're without an audience for Counterpoint today. In fact, we're not even in the same place. Our celebration of musical knowledge has reverted to Zoom for what we hope will be just a very brief interlude in the 2022 series. Joining me from their own homes are three music lovers hoping to win through to our semifinals in March, with apologies in advance to them and to you for the varying internet speeds and line qualities. Let's meet our contestants.
Hi, I'm Emily Channon. I'm from London, and the first record I downloaded was Wheel of Fortune by K-Star.
Hi, I'm LILLIAN CRAWFORD. I'm from Bearsted in Kent, and the first record I bought was Both Sides Now by Judy Collins.
Hello, I'm DAMIAN Evans. I'm from St David's in Pembrokeshire, now living in West London, and the first record I bought was 3 Feet High and Rising by De La Soul.
Welcome, all three of you. I'm sure you're all well acquainted with the rules. The main difference when we do things this way is that if you don't get your own question right, I pass it down the line to the others in turn, because we can't ask you to buzz in for a bonus. Good luck, everyone. To adapt the words of a Wham song, it's time for the Young Guns to go for it. Here comes the first question for you, Emily Channon. In November 2021, the music world mourned the loss of Stephen Sondheim, one of theater's most revered and influential composer-lyricists. An early career success was providing lyrics to accompany Leonard Bernstein's music for West Side Story. The musical is based on which of Shakespeare's plays?
Romeo and Juliet.
That is correct. And as you probably well know, West Side Story was recently remade on the big screen by Steven Spielberg. LILLIAN CRAWFORD. Here's a musical with music and lyrics by Sondheim and book by James Lapine. It intertwines the plots of several Brothers Grimm fairy tales. When you've heard No One Is Alone, I'd like you to give me its title.
Mother cannot guide you. Now you're on your own. Only me beside you. Still you're not alone. Alone, truly, no one is alone.
That's from Into the Woods.
That is from Into the Woods, and I can't wait to see Terry Gilliam's version. Damian Evans. Sondheim also had an impact in the pop world. His song, Losing My Mind, originally written for the 1971 musical Follies, became a top 10 hit in 1989 in a new version produced by the Pet Shop Boys and Julian Mendelssohn. For which singer?
Liza Minnelli.
That is correct. Emily, music for you from a 2019 film based on the last few years of the life of Liza Minnelli's famous mother. After you've heard the trolley song, I'd like you to name the film and the performer.
Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Sing, sing, sing went my heartstrings. From the moment I saw him, I fell. Chug, chug, chug went the motor. Thump, thump, thump went the brake. Thump, thump, thump went my heartstrings. When he smiled, you could feel the car shake.
So the film was Judy and the performer's Renée Zellweger.
That is correct. You get your 2 points. LILLIAN CRAWFORD. It is the centenary of Judy Garland in this year. She is a gay icon. According to several sources, the symbol of LGBT pride, created in 1978 by American artist Gilbert Baker, was inspired by her signature song. What is that song's title?
The Man Who Got Away?
I'm sorry, it's not The Man Who Got Away. Damian Evans, do you know what the song is?
Over the Rainbow.
That's right, the symbol being the rainbow flag, whose colors reflect the diversity of the LGBT community and the spectrum of human sexuality and gender. Damian, here's your own question. The London Gay Symphony Orchestra was founded in May 1996 by a group of friends led by Robin Gordon Powell, who was the orchestra's first conductor. The orchestra rapidly grew in size and today present full concerts throughout the year. Here they perform a suite written by Jean Sibelius in 1893. Can you name it?
Finlandia.
I'm sorry, it is not Finlandia. Emily, can you pick that one up?
I'm afraid I don't know.
In which case, we will give Lillian a chance.
That's the Karelia Suite.
It is indeed, and you get a bonus point. But Emily, you could get 2 here. Defined by several dictionaries as the 6th note in the sol-fa musical scale, which syllable is repeated 3 times to form the title of a 2013 UK #1 for Sam Smith and Naughty Boy?
La.
That's correct. The title being La, La, La. 3 laws, 2 points. Lillian Crawford, music for you from a Tchaikovsky opera based on a novel by Alexander Pushkin. After you've heard the famous letter scene, I'd like you to name the opera.
Eugene Onegin.
That's right, for 2 points. Damian Evans, 2022 marks the 75th anniversary of the launch of an American record label founded by Ahmet Ertegun and Herb Abramson. Over its first 20 years, it was at the forefront of music by jazz, R&B, and soul artists, including Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, and Otis Redding. Which label is that?
Atlantic.
It is Atlantic, and you get 2 points. Emily Channon, your next piece of music marks the most romantic day of the year in the Welsh calendar, St. Dwynwen's Day, considered to be the Welsh equivalent to Valentine's Day. It's an annual event which celebrates the Welsh Saint of Lovers every January 25th. Here's the Welsh bass baritone Bryn Terfel in a dreamy mood. I'd like you to name the musical this song originally features in and the composer-lyricist team behind it.
I have dreamed that your arms are lovely. I have dreamed what a joy you'll be. I have dreamed every word you'll whisper when you're close to
So it's Rodgers and Hammerstein, and I think it's The King and I.
You're right on both counts for 2 points. Lillian Crawford, January 2022 is the 80th anniversary of the birth of film and music video director Derek Jarman. In the late 70s, 2 of his films featured the British singer Toyah Willcox. Can you name either of them?
She was in Jubilee and The Tempest.
Bravo. You are right for 2 points. And finally, Damian Evans, to complete the round with music. It's from a 2021 album of remastered remixes of music by an Italian film composer. Here's the Bandini remix of The Ecstasy of Gold. I'd like you to name the composer and the 1966 film in which the original music features.
That's Ennio Morricone and The Good, the Bad and the Ugly.
For 2 points. So now let's find out which scores are good, Bad and Ugly. And What Do You Know? We have a tie for second place between Lillian Crawford and Damian Evans with 7 points. And in the lead with 8 points, it's Emily Channon. Because you pick subjects for the next round in the order of your scores in the first, we have to break the tie. I'll ask the two of you to write down the answer to a tie-break question, then invite you to reveal it. The nearest answer to the correct one will get the advantage. Here comes your tie-break question. The Fleetwood Mac album Rumours was the UK's best-selling vinyl album during 2020, with the official charts company confirming to the nearest 100 how many sales? Okay, let's see what Lillian has to say.
20,000.
20,000. And let's see what Damian has to say.
I went a bit higher with 40,000.
Actually, Damian is closer. It was 32,500. In our second round, our competitors take their turns to answer the individual questions on a musical category or theme from a list that I'm about to give them. This is the first time they've heard this list. They have had no chance to prepare. Today's choices are Tweet of the Day, Album Covers, The French Collection, Sinatra on Screen, and Jewelry Box. You choose in the order of your scores at this point. So, Emily, you're in the lead. Which would you like?
I'll go for Sinatra on Screen, please, Paul.
Okay. And for you, Damian Evans?
I think I'll go for album covers, please, Paul.
And that leaves 3 for Lillian, which are Tweet of the Day, The French Collection, and Jewelry Box.
The French Collection, please.
We start with you, Lillian Crawford. Here are your questions on The French Collection. Which award-winning French composer wrote music for the films Yentl, The Summer of 42, and The Thomas Crown Affair?
Michel Legrand.
Michel Legrand is correct for 2 points. And we mention with respect Marilyn Bergman, who has passed away. She gave lyrics to some songs in Yentl and the Thomas Crown Affair. Here's Legrand's music and lyrics for a 1964 musical romantic drama film written and directed by Jacques Demy. It stars Catherine Deneuve and Nino Castelnuovo as 2 young lovers. Can you name it?
Mais je ne pourrai jamais vivre sans toi. Je ne pourrai pas, ne pars pas, j'en mourrai. Je te cacherai et je te garderai. Mais mon amour ne me quitte pas.
Les Parapluies de Cherbourg.
That is right. In English, the umbrellas of Cherbourg. In the 1950s, which French singer-songwriter changed his name in homage to an 18th century British portrait and landscape painter?
Gainsbourg, Serge Gainsbourg.
That's right. He named himself after Thomas Gainsborough. He was actually born Lucien Ginsburg. Although she died young, the French composer Lily Boulanger produced a significant body of vocal and instrumental works with great impact in the music world. Here's the Women's Philharmonic performing one of the last pieces Boulanger completed. Which season is being celebrated here?
Is that Le Matin de Printemps, so spring?
That is correct for 2 points. Françoise Hardy has been an important figure in French pop music with a career spanning more than 50 years. Her impressive CV includes a collaboration with a British band on the song To the End, a B-side of their #1 single, Country House. Which band is that?
Blur.
That is right. Here's a jazz version of Edith Piaf's signature song. Can you give me its title and name the legendary trumpeter performing it?
I believe that's Louis Armstrong's cover of Le Vie en Rose.
And you believe correctly for 2 points. And finally, in this round, housed in the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris, what are Emmanuel, Marie, Gabrielle, Anne Geneviève, Denis, Marcel, Etienne, Benoit Joseph, Maurice, and Jean-Marie?
Those must be the bells.
Those are the bells of Notre Dame. And so, Lillian Crawford, you have scored a perfect round. 14 points added to your previous 7 points gives you a total of 21 points. Damian Evans, here are your questions on album covers. Which American pop artist designs have been used on the covers of Toscanini's conducting of the William Tell Overture, Count Basie's self-titled 1955 album, and The Velvet Underground and Nico?
Andy Warhol.
That is Andy Warhol for 2 points. It's no secret David Bowie was an admirer of Andy Warhol, even writing a tribute song to him. It features on an album with a cover photograph taken by Brian Ward of a close-up of Bowie looking past the camera while he pulls back his hair. When you've heard its opening track, I'd like you to name that album.
Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. Don't wanna be a richer man. Changes. Turn and face the strain. Changes. It's gonna have to be a different man. Time may change me, but I can't trace time.
And that's Hunky Dory.
That is right. Changes is from Hunky Dory. The cover of the 2017 album Gang Signs and Prayer by the British rapper Stormzy takes inspiration from which late 15th century painting by Leonardo da Vinci?
Not sure. May as well say the Mona Lisa.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not the Mona Lisa. It's The Last Supper. The Japanese illustrator Shusei Nagaoka created album covers for Deep Purple, ELO, and Rolls-Royce. In the late 70s and early 80s, his designs of pyramids and structures featured on the albums of this American soul and funk band. Can you name them?
Earth, Wind and Fire.
That is Earth, Wind and Fire. You heard In the Stone from the album I Am, and you get your 2 points. A famous photo of half a dozen U.S. Marines raising a flag has inspired album covers by the groups Funkadelic, Canned Heat, and Uriah Heep. In which country was the flag originally raised?
Japan.
That's right, on the island of Iwo Jima during a key battle towards the end of World War II. Joni Mitchell's self-portrait on the cover of her 1994 album Turbulent Indigo takes inspiration from a famous artist. He's also referenced in the title track as she describes the mental turmoil of the creative process. When you've heard it, I'd like you to tell me his name.
I'm a burning heart, he said. People see the smoke. But no one comes to warm themselves, sloughing off a coat. And all my little landscapes
stack up around this vacancy like dirty cups and spoons.
Vincent van Gogh.
That's right, for 2 points. And finally, in this round, seated between Oliver Hardy and H.G. Wells, which political economist is represented on Peter Blake's iconic album cover for the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band?
Karl Marx.
That's right. And so, Damian Evans, in that round, you have scored 12 points, added to your previous 7. You now have 19 points. Emily Channon, here are your questions on Sinatra on Screen. For which 1953 war film did Frank Sinatra win a supporting actor Oscar for his role as Private Maggio?
Was it From Here to Eternity?
It was. Here's Sinatra as journalist Mike Connor serenading socialite Tracy Lord in the 1956 film musical High Society. When you've heard Mind If I Make Love to You, I'd like you to name the actress who played Tracy.
Well, that was lovely. Grace Kelly.
It was lovely, and it was Grace Kelly. 2 points. The previous year, Old Blue Eyes had starred in the film musical Guys and Dolls. Marlon Brando had been cast in the main part of Sky Masterson, a role coveted by Sinatra. In the end, which supporting role did he have to settle for?
Nathan Detroit.
It is Nathan Detroit. It was well worth waiting for to get your 2 points. Your next musical extract finds 3 sailors docking in the Big Apple. Can you tell me how they're spending the day according to the title of the film?
New York, New York's a wonderful town. The Bronx is up and the Battery's down. The people ride in a hole in the ground. New York, New York, it's a wonderful town.
They're going on the town.
They are going on the town, and you get your 2 points. 2 decades later, Sinatra would swap the streets of New York to roam the ocean drives of Miami as which private detective?
Oh, gosh, I've no idea. I'll guess MacGyver. I have no idea.
I'd love to have seen that, but it was Tony Rome.
Oh.
The film's theme song was performed by daughter Nancy Sinatra. Here's a film musical set in Prohibition-era Chicago, which reimagines a legend of English folklore. It features Sinatra's Rat Pack buddies, Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. In this scene, they question Bing Crosby's fashion sense. But which musical is it?
You've either got or you haven't got style.
If you got it, you stand out a mile.
A flower's not a flower if it's wilted.
A hat's not a hat till it's tilted. You've either got or you haven't got class.
How it draws the applause of the masses.
Is it Robin in the Hood?
I'm going to give you 1 point, but I don't...
Is it Robin in the Seven Hoods? I have some recollection of this in my mind.
You did get there in the end. The film is Robin and the Seven Hoods. Finally, in this round, Sinatra's early screen roles in the 1940s were as a singer in the orchestra of a jazz trombonist, known as the Sentimental Gentleman of Swing. Which band leader was that?
Nelson Riddle?
I'm sorry, it was Tommy Dorsey. Start spreading the news, Emily. In that round, you got 10 points, added to your previous 8. You now have a total of 18 points. After the individual round, here are the scores. Lying third with 18 points is Emily Channon. In second place with 19 points is Damian Evans. And our leader with just 1 round to go with 21 points is Lillian Crawford. Clearly, anyone could win. Because you're at home and competing remotely, For our final round, we've reverted to the system we operated in last year's Counterpoint. You'll each get 60 seconds in which to answer as many questions as you can. The quicker you can answer, the more points you stand to win. We start with the contestant in third place. That is Emily Channon. Emily, here come your 60 seconds of question. In which Dua Lipa song does she advise, 1, don't pick up the phone, you know he's only calling because he's drunk and alone?
New Rules.
Yes. Which musical features a diesel engine from the USA called Greaseball?
Grease.
No. Starlight Express. The xylophone belongs to which section of the orchestra?
Percussion.
For the point. Which Prokofiev opera is based on an epic novel by Tolstoy?
War and Peace.
You're right. The theme to which comedy series features the line tossed salads and scrambled eggs?
Frasier.
Yes. Which surname connects song lyricist Ned, sax player Grover, and jazz vocalist Dinah?
Washington.
Yes. Paul W. Weir's Symphony No. 1 is named after which prehistoric monument on Salisbury Plain?
Oh, Stonehenge.
Yes. Which Gershwin opera opens during a summer evening in Catfish
Porgy
Row?
and Bess.
Yes. In 2019, which One Direction member released the album Fine Line?
Harry Styles.
Yes. Chris Bowers provides the theme music for which...
Is it like Mastermind, you've started so you'll finish, or...
I believe you can finish if you know what it is, based on what I've just said.
I have absolutely no recollection of what you've just said. I was so panicked. So I doubt I'm going to be able to answer it.
The answer was Bridgerton, and someday you'll find out what the question was. And so, Emily, in that round, you scored 8 points. So that means you now have a total of 26 points. Damian Evans, here are your 60 seconds of questions. Finish these song lyrics. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am.
Stuck in the Middle with You.
Yes, premiering in 2013. Beautiful is a jukebox musical about the early life and career of which artist?
Carole King.
Yes, the bassoon belongs to which section of the orchestra?
Wind.
Yes. Which Rubinstein opera begins with a baby being discovered along the river Not? Moses. The words of which Robbie Burns' poem are traditionally sung at midnight to welcome in the new year?
Auld Lang Syne.
That is correct. In band names, what word goes before Image Limited, Service Broadcasting?
Public.
Yes. In which city was Beethoven born?
Bonn.
Yes. In 1971, the Bee Gees released an album named after which historic naval engagement of 1805?
Trafalgar.
Yes. Which 2020 hit song for rappers Eminem and Juice WRLD shares its name with a large fictional Japanese monster?
Godzilla.
Yes. In the early 1980s, Belinda Carlisle was the lead singer of which group?
Go-Go's.
Yes. Which operetta with music by Frimmel features the Song of the Vagabonds?
Pass.
It is The Vagabond King. Damian Evans, in that round, you scored 9 points, added to your previous 19 points. You now have 28 points. LILLIAN CRAWFORD, here come your 60 seconds of questions. According to the Dusty Springfield song, who was the only one who could ever reach me?
Son of a Preacher Man.
Yes. Which new musical is a modern retelling of the lives of the wives of Henry VIII?
6.
Yes. Debuting in 1964, which instrument was developed by the American engineer Robert Moog?
The synthesizer.
Yes. Which Verdi opera begins with the people of Cyprus awaiting the arrival of a new governor?
Rigoletto.
No, it's Otello. In 2014, who won the Eurovision Song Contest with Rise Like the Phoenix?
Conchita Wurst.
Yes. Carl August are the first names of which Danish composer, conductor, and violinist?
Pass.
Nielsen. What was the main instrument of the jazz musician Alice Coltrane?
Saxophone.
Piano. Which Russian composer's ballet scores include The Golden Age, The Bolt, and The Limpid Stream?
Shostakovich.
Yes. In 2021, which British singer-songwriter released the album Therapy?
Pass.
Anne-Marie. What term for a short piano piece of romantic character was first used?
Nocturne.
Yes, Nocturne is the answer. I was going to say by the composer John Field, but you anticipated that. And in so doing, you have scored 6 points in that round. Added to your 21, you now have 27 points. And here are the final scores. Third with 26 points, Emily Channon. Runner-up with 27 points, LILLIAN CRAWFORD. And our winner with 28 points, Damian Evans. Very well done, Damian Evans. We'll be seeing you again in the semi-finals in just a few weeks' time. Commiserations and thanks to the other two of you. This is the closest match I have ever presented. I hope you'll be listening when another trio of music lovers joins us from their own homes next week to play Counterpoint. Until then, goodbye.